Tyson suffers a medical emergency while on a plane. Put up the picture for a mask. He was going to LA. And the representative for Mike Tyson has confirmed via the New York Post that Tyson suffered a medical scare on a Sunday flight from Miami to Los Angeles due to an ulcer. It was a flare-up.
The fact that he's got an ulcer and he can't sit on a plane for 2 hours and then the paramedics have to run on, take him off, probably in a stretcher, that's not a good look. That is not a good look. And guess what? Jake Paul's out there saying that someone's going to die in the ring.
Jake Paul may have already lined up a replacement opponent amid concerns over Mike Tyson's health heading into their fight on July 20th. Despite his representatives claiming he is doing great after the health scare, it remains to be seen whether Tyson passes medical tests and is deemed fit to fight Paul this summer. Though should he fail those tests or pull out himself, former UFC star Chael Sonnen says he is the man lined up to replace the 57-year-old. In a series of posts on X, Sonnen claimed Paul wrote him into the contract as Tyson's backup. He posted, "I guess it was wise of Jake Paul to write me into the contract as Tyson's backup, wasn't it?" Chael didn't stop there as he threatened Jake about fighting him. He posted, "If Jake Paul realizes he might be fighting me in a month, he may be the one having a heart attack." Sonnen also suggested that his June 15th boxing match against old UFC rival Anderson Silva in Brazil is a tune-up ahead of that potential opening. Maybe the Anderson Silva tune-up with spot in Brazil makes a little more sense now, doesn't it? Not just Sonnen, Ryan Garcia also offered to step in for Tyson should he be unable to take on YouTuber-turned-boxer Paul. Garcia posted a screenshot of his DM with Jake Paul in which he texted Paul about filling in for the fight if Mike is unable to compete. But Jake Paul didn't take this well and pointed out Ryan for seeking attention in order to get some clicks and likes. He replied, "You love to make shit up before knowing the facts for clicks or likes. Nothing changed." Mike Tyson also insisted he is back to 100% following the medical scare, and also added that he doesn't have to be fully fit in order to beat Jake Paul. "Now feeling 100% even though I don't need to beat Jake Paul." Tyson's representatives had previously insisted the former heavyweight champion was doing great after an ulcer flare-up 30 minutes before landing. They stated, he is appreciative to the medical staff that were there to help him. And Mike has previously stated that he has dealt with sciatica.
All right, Ted, the other day I saw a picture of you. You were in a wheelchair. What was that all about?
Oh, I have sciatica every now and then. It flares up, and when it flares up, I can't even talk.
Is that the only health problem you got right now? I mean, hopefully that's the only thing you have, and you don't even, I mean, I hope you don't have sciatica right now, but otherwise you're in good health.
Both fighters take their fight extremely seriously. Although the two boxers have always gotten along well, there have been rumors that tension was evident during the 7 hours of negotiations that preceded the battle. Paul recently said on his podcast, "When you sign the contract, something changes, right? Even if we want to feel that, but it's like we are facing off. Obviously, I love him and respect him so much. I'm honored to be going into the ring with him, but we are fighting each other." In the whirlwind of opinions swirling around the looming showdown, British fighter Dave Allen's perspective shines with a distinctive condemnation, mirroring the feelings of numerous others. With Tyson poised to enter the ring against a young boxer whose professional acclaim may be lacking, but whose current prowess is undeniable, Allen's stance resonates profoundly. Dave Allen, in an interview with TalkSport, articulated his concerns as follows: "As far as the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight goes, I think it's dangerous. Mike Tyson is one of the greatest heavyweights that ever lived, but at 58 years of age, he shouldn't be getting hit. Mike Tyson's presence at the upcoming event could face disruption before July 20th under limited circumstances. The foremost concern looms in the form of a substantial injury incurred during his rigorous training sessions preceding the match. Such an incident would unquestionably be the leading cause for his absence. Alternatively, unforeseen personal matters or medical exigencies might also emerge, compelling Tyson to reassess his involvement as the event draws near." Allen added, "Jake Paul is a young man. He's in shape, and he's ended up being a half-decent professional boxing prospect. So for me, it's dangerous, and it shouldn't be happening." Jonathan DeBella, current holder of the esteemed one strawweight kickboxing world champion title, recently divulged his thoughts and foresight regarding the upcoming boxing spectacle. DeBella stunned many by firmly pledging his support for Tyson over Paul in the forthcoming bout. He elaborated on his reasoning in a candid interview featured on the Calf Kick Sports YouTube platform. He said, "Mike Tyson all day. He's getting him. Yeah, I can't say no to Mike. Doesn't matter what age, he's still gonna have that punch." The selection of the Canadian-Italian prodigy is undoubtedly logical, yet Jake Paul Paul is sparing no effort in his preparation to establish supremacy over Tyson. Firmly convinced that this match will mark the zenith of his career, Jake is resolute in showcasing his utmost prowess when he squares off against Tyson. Striving for peak performance, Jake, in his dual role as fighter and promoter, has recently immersed himself in grueling training sessions alongside Olympic-caliber boxers at the lofty Colorado Springs Olympic and Paralympic Training Center, nestled at an awe-inspiring altitude exceeding 6,000 feet.
I woke up one day and stopped making excuses. I woke up one day and stopped playing the blame game. I woke up one day and looked at the man in the mirror and was like, yo, bro, what are you doing? Wake up, it's showtime, let's go!
In his latest video drop, Jake Paul flexed his muscle by stepping into the ring for a showdown with none other than the infamous Lil Pump of Gucci Gang fame. As they squared off in the center, the rapper poised himself for action, but Jake wasted no time, unleashing a powerful strike to his opponent's gut. Lil Pump doubled over in pain, collapsing onto the mat as the sounds of his distress reverberated throughout the arena.
I told you I have to do it.
In a buzzworthy interview that's got tongues wagging, Jake Paul dropped a bombshell, asserting his belief in his punching prowess, claiming he can throw fists on par with the boxing icon Mike Tyson. This declaration comes amid escalating excitement surrounding the impending showdown between Paul and Tyson, sparking fervent debate and chatter among boxing aficionados.
I don't get why people, like, it's very 50-50, but to the people that don't think I'm gonna win, it's like, I'm younger, faster, sharper, and can hit at the same levels that he can and be able to take his punches. So
Paul, renowned for his audacious and self-assured attitude, has always embraced the spotlight with gusto, never hesitating to make daring proclamations. Yet, likening his punching prowess to that of Tyson, a titan of the heavyweight division revered for his ferocity, elevates Paul's self-assurance to unprecedented heights.
You got balls, like, step in a ring with Mike Tyson, boy.
It is definitely a lot to
You got
face
this,
and go
man.
up against, but I think I'm just like wired differently to, like, I just feel like it's like destiny for me to be involved.
Ricky Hatton thinks that Tyson, who will be 58 on fight night, is looking good for his age but has no business being in the ring. The former heavyweight champion will have to pass brain and heart scans to be eligible to fight, and Hatton described the controversial bout as a complete shambles. He stated, "Mike is looking good for his 58 years. I wouldn't mind looking like him at that age. He looks explosive. Trust me, if he can hit Jake Paul on the chin, he'll knock him into the middle of next week. I've seen Tyson on the pads, and he looks sharp, but he's 58. Can he maintain it? At his age, your body isn't conditioned to take the punishment that will be coming back to you." Hatton also highlighted this fight as a complete joke, asking Jake how he would look in the mirror after knocking out one of his heroes. As for Jake Paul, if he were to knock him out, he'll be knocking out one of his heroes. How could he live with that on his conscience? It doesn't matter how much money is involved. How would you be able to look at yourself in the mirror? I think it's completely crazy. It's a joke. I don't mind the exhibition fights when the matchups are even, but this one is on another level completely. Monitoring the development closely, former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping, it seems, has joined ranks with those who believe the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight shouldn't punch the clock. In a strongly worded opinion piece, the 2019 UFC Hall of Fame legend articulated strong objections to the bout.
Mike Tyson, absolute legend, but 58 years old, right? This is just a great example of why a fight like this should not be going ahead. Mike Tyson is not the same person. We know there's video clips out there, and he's looking fast, and he's looking brutal, and he's looking deadly, and he's got the power. But it's easy to edit up a quick little TikTok video.
Ideally, a man in his prime shouldn't have any problem sitting on a hot and stuffy plane for a couple of hours, said Michael Bisping. However, the situation with Mike Tyson doesn't bode well for this fight. He said, "The fact that he's got an ulcer and he can't sit on a plane for 2 hours, and then the paramedics have to run on, take him off, probably in a stretcher, that's not a good look. That is not a good look." Michael Bisping also mentioned the "one of us has to die" narrative Jake Paul has built. Jake also said that he won't hold back because of Mike's old age. Jake stated that he can't take a risk knowing that Mike will knock him out cold if he sees an opportunity.
People have talked about the age difference. Will you have any trepidation? Will you have any hesitation to lay Mike out if the shot's there? Do you take it easy on him at all?
Absolutely not. And because if he has the opportunity to do the same, you know damn well that he's going to finish me in embarrassing fashion.
So, making it clear why the fight shouldn't happen, Bisping concluded, "I'm not going to make any jokes at Mike Tyson's expense. You know, I could say someone's going to die before the fight. That's bloody right. Mike Tyson, absolute legend, but 58 years old, right? This is just a great example of why a fight like this should not be going ahead. Mike Tyson is not the same person we know." Rap duo Cam'ron and Mace claimed they were asked to perform for Tyson's ring walk against Paul, but turned down the alleged offer because of his recent health episode. Cam'ron stated, "They offered us the walkout with Mike Tyson. This was before this incident, and I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to do that." And Cam'ron said that he doesn't want to take the blame of walking out a weakened Mike Tyson, who'd probably lose. Now, I'm probably not going to do it because I don't want Nick blaming me for nothing when he don't win. If we walk Mike out and Mike don't win, I don't know if I need that type of pressure. Mace then added, "I hope Mike is well, but it sounds like Mike is trying to get a way out." Cam'ron replied and questioned if the fight is still on now. He stated, "I know he shouldn't need one, but if they took him off this plane, we want to make sure he's well, but are we having a fight or not? Is the fight still on? Before this, I had Mike winning the fight. Now I don't know." During their second press conference of the fight, Mike was repeatedly asked how he handles criticism for facing a youthful Jake Paul at his age. But Mike ignored such questions and counter-questioned every time the subject was brought up.
How do you respond to people who are critical about this fight taking place in the first place at all because of your differences, particularly your age?
Well, I don't see too many people critical about it. Look at this. Ha 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 ha.
Mike even got upset with a fan who stated he was too old to face Jake Paul.
I think he just called Mike Tyson a gimmick.
Mike Tyson's 58 years old, or will be at the time of the fight, yes.
So
as much as I respect Mike Tyson
will you
and
fight
his...
him?
What did you just call me again?
I didn't call you anything.
What did you call me?
I didn't call you anything.
Whether he likes it or not, Jake will face a weakened Mike Tyson who is endangering his health. Many professionals have been critical of this fight since the moment it was made public. Recently, UFC heavyweight Curtis Blaydes addressed these questions. In an interview, the host asked Blaydes his thoughts on the fight and asked whether he planned to watch it. He said that it's a joke fight and he won't be watching this fight.
I will not be watching. I think it's a joke fight. You could tell just by how they've been interacting with the face-off and the press conference. That's not the Mike Tyson who's coming to rip your head off. That ain't Iron Mike.
Deontay Wilder is also not a big fan of this fight, as he said that he would not be watching it too. He said, "I think it's bad the commission has licensed Mike Tyson because he hasn't been active in 20 years, so they should not just license him because of who he is. That's how people get hurt. God forbid he gets hurt. I don't want to see it, to be honest." But Sugar Ray Leonard says that he's going to watch this fight as it has garnered much attention despite the ongoing criticism. He also thinks that this fight will bring new audiences to the sport of boxing. Sugar stated, "Put it this way, a lot of people are gonna watch that fight. Okay, I'm one of them." Despite the criticism, the fight has also garnered attention, and it is likely many people worldwide will be tuning in for one reason or another. Recently, Conor McGregor accused Jake Paul for setting a bad example for young boxers. He stated, "For me, it does set a bad precedent in the industry. What you've got now is, and I would say this to the young athletes coming up, men and women, don't aspire to be one of these YouTube fighters. Aspire for world titles. Aspire for the Olympics. That is how you etch your name in history. Doing these little smash and grab fights, you might get a few likes, but there's nothing substantial to it. It's hollow. It can be profitable, but it's hollow. I'm noticing a trend in young fighters coming up that are not even interested in competing in the amateur scene or rising up to win a national title. You need the gold on the waist. You need to etch your name on the belt." Conor outlined a road that an aspiring boxer should pursue to become a professional, in stark contrast to influential boxers such as Jake Paul, who entered the sport through gimmick matches. However, Anthony Joshua understood the issue properly, stating that while hardcore boxing fans may dislike this idea, influencers bring a large audience with them, which is beneficial to boxing.
I think that the boxing hardcores, like the boxing fanatics, they don't like it because it's like, why are they disrespecting our sport? There's an Olympic system that you have to go through, and once you've qualified there, then you go through to the professional ranks. Whereas someone with a profile can just come out of nowhere and fight one of the best guys. But I think, let's say we divided this crowd in half, and you've got half of the people that are hardcore boxing fans and half of the people that love a certain person that's into YouTube.
Like a YouTuber, yeah.
But that person brings all of these people into boxing, which benefits everyone else that's involved.
Because some of
in
them
the
might
industry.
stay not just for that match.
Yeah.
They might get into the sport.
And it's a tough game, so everyone viewing helps. So I think it's really good for people that need like some exposure.
When asked who he thinks will win this fight, AJ expressed concern about Mike Tyson's health and hoped that he would arrive healthy for the fight. He stated, "The only thing I'm worried about is father time. That's one thing that has never been beaten. Tyson, he's older now, but I pray that he comes out healthy. But I think Jake Paul would win because of youth. That's the only thing, because of the youth." Vladimir Klitschko also praised this fight, believing that Mike fighting at this age sets a good example for others to never give up. He believes that age is just a number and has considered returning to boxing after seeing Mike perform at this age.
Well, that's also outstanding as this fight in Riyadh. Mike Tyson at his age is facing a YouTuber that is much younger and hungry and capable of boxing as well. So it's going to be a good example for people that are at Mike's age.
Yeah.
It's also actually a good example for me to keep on punching, so to speak, and hopefully, and I look forward to that match as well. You can only be too old in your mind.
Yeah.
If you control your mind, you control everything in your life.
So what are your thoughts about this fight? Do you think that Mike will be able to make up to this fight? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.